Hey, you guys, welcome. Make sure to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. And check us out on Facebook too. I post there several times a day at Chatty Cathy with C's. That's at Chatty Cathy on Facebook as well. So this one is new for me, you guys, because keep in mind, I'm a 41-year-old woman, but NBA YoungBoy, I didn't know much about him. I have to be honest. This is literally someone that can be my son. I first knew about him with Yaya Mayweather, and it got me, looking into him a little bit more. And what's so ironic is, being older and having like nieces and nephews his age, like I'm in awe of his work ethic. But even when looking at him, there's like such a sadness in his eyes that I don't know. He just reminds me of the nephew, like your favorite nephew that you're always going to feed. Like he probably likes your macaroni and cheese and things like that, where you just kind of want to care for him. But breaking out in 2015, he becomes literally the first artist, the youngest artist to score 100 career Hot 100 entries. I mean, listen, for someone to come so young, literally 2015, so that was 8 years ago. So he was 15? You know what I'm saying? Like his work ethic is just something else. And looking into his background too and learning about him, it just says a lot about him, as a person, despite all that we hear with all that he's gone through. I hope he never ever interviews with DJ Vlad. I got my own issues with him because he just likes to stir up the pot, and that's just my personal opinion. I don't like what happened to that artist. I think I did one on Facebook with that artist who interviewed with him and was sharing how someone attempted to break into his home, or armed robbery, and he ended up taking this man's life. But he posted it on social media and kind of taunted the deceased. Vlad brings it up, and a couple days later this young artist lost his life. But I said that to say, I just hope he stays clear, because right now it seems like he might be on the right path, and maybe, just maybe, house arrest saved his life. Because let's face it, we know what happens with these young artists. We've seen it time and time again, and I don't want to see that anymore. And for whatever reason, I'm literally rooting for Control. I am. I really am. I'm rooting for him. And I know he's had some would be an understatement, but I know he's had some beefs, especially with someone like Boosie. Nobody can say anything bad about my Boosie, but he took some jabs at Boosie, and we all know about the feud with him and King Von and Quando Rondo being on his label. He went at it with Lil Durk. He also went at it with who's the other one that's trying to change his life around, but then he made this horrible video with Suki Hunter. NLE Chopper. Let me tell you how disconnected I am. I had no idea that NBA stood for Never Broke Again. That just shows, you know what I'm saying? But don't judge me. That's what we're not going to do. We're not going to judge me. But I found it interesting that, because I always saw his forehead, and I wonder what happened. And apparently when he was wrestling as a toddler, he had the injury that required a head brace until his spine healed, and that's what left the permanent scars on his forehead. So he was mainly raised by his grandmother, and his father was sentenced to 55 years in prison. He dropped out of high school in the 9th grade. He went to juvenile detention for a robbery charges and literally began writing then. And when he got out, his grandmother died of heart failure in 2010. And losing a grandmother, that's one of the worst pains that anyone can ever feel. I lost my mother as well, but I was 9, but grandma stung a bit, so seeing this young boy that probably lost the only, person that truly cared for him, and not saying that his mom didn't, but I just don't know where mom was, to where grandmother was caring for him and things of that nature. That's their business and that's between them. But, it just seems like losing grandmother probably really affected him. And I remember in an article he had stated that he used to get beat up inside the group home for no reason. The other boys would put their hands on me, and I would look up like, why are you hitting me, bro? What did I do? It made me discover another side of me that I never glorified or liked. I found out how to be the person that you don't want to do that with. Before then, I never understood all the evilness or wrong because I was showered by so much love from this one person. Isn't that crazy? And I think a lot of the times these artists give so much of themselves in interviews, but oftentimes it's overshadowed by the latest gossip, you know what I'm saying, or the latest beef, which causes so much issues. Because to me, you know, had I been the interviewer, or if I heard that, I would love to talk with him one day, not about beef, but just about life and where he's at mentally. But to me, that statement and that change, that shift, you know, from people beating on him at a young age in that group home, and that statement alone, it says, you know, that's when that transpired. And I think that's where like a lot of the beef started. A lot of the beef stemmed from where if you poke at him, then he's going to poke back, and it might just be a little harder. You know, he's had the run-ins with multiple people. We know. I think I've already said that, you know, most famously with King Von and O-Block and NLE Choppa, and even he went at Gucci Mane. I always mispronounce that. And, you know, most famously, my little Boosie, who I just, oh goodness, can't say anything bad about Boosie. I just love his spirit. It just seems like he just celebrates life. But it took me back to that statement of his, you know, that statement alone, because a lot changed in his life when that occurred. And I don't think he means to be that way, and I don't think he intends to be that way, but it takes him back to that space of where people were mean to him, in which he couldn't understand why, because he was surrounded by so much love, so he didn't understand that evil. So now when provoked with evil, he's going to meet that. But I'm rooting for him because we've seen time and time again of what happens with young artists. I don't know what the future holds for him, but if he wanted to retire right now, he could. And that's just what it is. With an estimated 17 million from YouTube alone, he literally does not have to work again. His children does not have to work again. He's made his mark, and he's done some amazing things in a short amount of time. Coming in the game at early and dropping mixtape after mixtape, starting at age 15 years old and rapping as if he was an adult with so much passion, you know? That was just passion to me. And he just, if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to do that anymore. He genuinely, truly doesn't. Granted, like I said, and I'm not going to take away from the legal issues, not going to take away from, you know, there was an instance with an alleged abuse with a female party. There was a charge with that, multiple gun charges, back and forth with of all people, Floyd Mayweather. This goes to show you this kid has big balls. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't care who it is. If you nuck, then he's certainly gonna buck, because we're talking about Floyd Mayweather. Like, this is the grandfather of one of your sons. But that's either here nor there. I'm rooting for him. Allegedly, you know, he was wed, if that is true, to, the longtime girlfriend, or at least a couple of years, Little Miss Jazz. They have 2 kids together. There was a marriage certificate that circulated online. So if that's true, great. There was a quote circulating online that he's been spending some time with the Church of St. Latter-day Saints, allegedly, that he expressed an interest in being baptized once he's off ankle monitor, allegedly. So, you know, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But ultimately, I think that being on house arrest and away from the limelight could have ultimately saved his life. And who knows what trouble he could have gotten into had he not been on house arrest and on monitor. And hopefully he continues on this path and just learn to chill out. I think at a certain point, when you've reached a certain level and when you are a millionaire, he has more money than I probably will ever see in my lifetime. There's no reason to engage when it comes to the negativity. I don't know what type of relationship him and his mom have. I know that she actually dropped a rap song. And what's so crazy is it didn't sound horrible. Like, mom had a few bars. I've seen her go toe to toe with Wendy Williams when Wendy Williams made the mistake of mentioning her son. So I don't know where she was when he was staying with the grandmother or what. Like I said earlier, that's their business. But, you know, maybe she will be a factor in his life, and who knows? Who knows? But this is one young artist that I am rooting for. and all young artists for the most part. You know, at the end of the day, it's not worth it. You made money, you're a millionaire. Don't engage with anything else. So until next time, you guys are amazing. Make sure to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Stay chatting.